I'm Steve Stager in for Kyle Clark. This is next. Check your Facebook feed or the end of nightly news there. Any social media, really. You'll find people talking smack about 2016. Sure, we've lost a lot of people this year. And yes, we have seen some horrible tragedies. But here on Next, we figure if you're going to cover the bad, you can't lose sight of the good.
She may not seem like it, but little Kayla is having a pretty great year.
You had a busy day.
2 days in, it's all so simple.
Oh, my new little baby. I love her so much.
Her family is having a great year too.
Just having new life is always a good thing.
In fact, anywhere you turn around here, you'll find it.
Well, we just got the most exciting thing that we've gotten all year, which is a new baby.
People who disagree with your Facebook feed and think 2016 was pretty great.
The world is so new to you.
Like Edith's mom and dad.
We got it to the hospital sometime after 6 o'clock, and we were only in the delivery room for about 11 minutes.
It was easy, I thought.
I guess it's no surprise to find happy people in a place like this.
I started my brand new job here at University Hospital on the birth center.
Even those without a new bundle of joy.
And I was also on The Price is Right.
Lisa Mason got her own bundle this year. A bundle of randomness.
And I won a bunch of sunglasses, Dolce & Gabbana. I won a chair. And I won a printer and a computer.
While Lisa was off winning kind of fabulous prizes, Gilbert was just winning at life.
Go play golf, go bowling, whatever, you know.
Another year of retirement is treating him well.
Wow, that's pretty good.
It is easy to paint this year with a broad negative brush.
It was our 2-year anniversary.
In June.
That was exciting.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
And then we camped a little. A friend of ours has a cabin that loaned it to us.
If anyone could be down about 2016, it's Lisa and Chris.
Yes, I had a triple negative breast cancer. Rogue, aggressive.
Extremely aggressive.
Yet,
just as big.
They're getting through it.
Yeah. It's my partner.
Aw.
By searching for the positives.
Strongest woman I know.
Positives are all around us.
Yeah, and I'm not going to let those negative things get me down.
I won a meat smoker, which I made a killer turkey.
Oh, you don't even know how exciting this is.
I know. I was telling her this is probably her big break.
For all of you down about 2016,
Straight out of chemo.
we just encourage you to look a little harder.
I got this.
Yes, you do.
Fast treatment.
Thank God.
No problem.
Photojournalist Ann Herbst behind the lens there. We want to hear about your 2016 good news. Tweet it to us with the hashtag #HeyNext or email us next@9news.com.
Our next question comes from viewer Kim Aragon. Whatever happened to the initiative for liquor to be sold in all grocery stores?
Well, state lawmakers actually came up with a compromise law allowing grocery stores to sell full-strength beer, wine, and liquor. The creators of the initiative ended up dropping it. But there are restrictions to that new law.
Here are the rules. Grocery stores will slowly be able to get more liquor licenses starting in 2017, but only a small number at a time. The old law only allowed companies to have a liquor license for only one location. In 2017, they can have up to 5. Then every 5 years, stores will be able to gradually get liquor licenses for more locations. But they'll have to buy out 2 liquor stores for every 1 license. In 2037, they can apply for an unlimited amount of liquor licenses. The Liquor Enforcement Division will begin accepting applications for additional licenses on January 1st, so it still could be months before you see alcohol on sale in your neighborhood grocery stores.
These days, people fight to buy alcohol in more places. 100 years ago, you had to just fight to find alcohol. In the days of Prohibition, it wasn't easy. Next, got these photos from History Colorado Center showing alcohol seizures and raids in 1916. Colorado made the decision to go dry while the surrounding states kept their wells running. You can guess what happened next. Bootleggers started bringing in booze from other states. History Colorado's director of research says they would disguise it as barrels of olive oil or hide it in crates of salad dressing. Others just decided to brew their own at home. It was illegal to buy and to sell. Hey, may I make a recommendation? This is where we point you towards something that isn't ours, but is worth your time. Today, it's not an article to go check out. It's more of a call to action. Don't drink and drive this weekend. Take an Uber or a cab. But if you don't feel like dealing with surge pricing or you don't have the extra cash to pay for the ride home, RTD has you covered. RTD buses and light rail will be free from 7 p.m. Saturday night until 7 a.m. on Sunday. So even if you stay out really, really late until the sun rises, you can still have a safe and free ride home. Now, naturally, since we are talking about RTD today, we just have to ask, is the A-line working? You know, the train to the plane. Well, sorta. There were delays on the A-line throughout the morning, 10 to 30 minutes. A few trains from DIA to Denver were canceled before noon, too. Well, bummer. Well, you may remember a few weeks ago we told you that the Merriam-Webster dictionary was really hoping the word of the year would not be fascism. Yes, fascism. But we have great news. The word of the year is certainly not fascism. It is actually surreal, defined as marked by the intense, irrational reality of a dream. The dictionary says surreal was chosen because it was looked up a lot more frequently in 2016 than in previous years. There were 3 major events that made people look up the word more in March after the Brussels terror attacks. In July, it was used to describe the coup attempt in Turkey and the terrorist attack in Nice. And then it spiked again in November after, you guessed it, the U.S. election. Let's just be thankful it wasn't fascism. So if you watched Next yesterday, you saw that we spoke to Troy Ide, former U.S. attorney. He's the lawyer who represented the tribes that fought to get the Bear Ears National Monument in Utah. Ide is on President-elect Trump's transition team. He wouldn't talk about that, but we also asked him about his wife, Allison Ide. Her name is on Trump's list of top picks for Supreme Court. Usually, as journalists, we hate it when we get no comment. But Troy Ide, we salute you for 2 of the best no comments we've heard in a while. I have to ask you this, just because of your position. You are on the transition team. Was this a difficult balance?
No,
Can't answer it?
I will not talk about any of that.
Bottom of the list type
Don't
question.
ask me any Trump stuff, because I can't. I'm not allowed to comment on anything.
Okay.
I'm not. Some people are designated to comment.
Oh, yeah.
Some people have no authority, as I was explaining. I have 0 authority. 0 authority.
Fair enough. I mean, the question I was going to ask you about your wife, your lovely wife, is she being vetted for a Supreme
answer
Court
any questions about my wife, and I never have. So that's why we've been married 27 years.
There you have it. Full journalist rejection at its finest. And for good reason. Troy's a good guy. He's just following the rules.
Since we spent so much time talking to you about booze tonight, why not talk about marijuana too? I sat down with the editor-in-chief of The Cannabist, who is stepping down after 3 years of being the first mainstream journalist assigned to the pot beat.
I turned 40 in about 2 months, and I think it's time for me to know how to do something other than journalism.
It's a sign that just so happens to be the most Colorado thing we saw today. See? 2 birds with 1 stone. And if you're looking to thank someone for the weather today, Danielle Grant will be in here in a minute.
The most Colorado thing we saw today was spotted in Jefferson County at Meyer Ranch Park, to be exact. There might not be too much snow to sled on, but that didn't stop kids who were off of school this week. But no snow and sledding means you could end up with a broken sled. And that's why this trash can is designated for, quote, broken sleds only, no trash. Yes, a trash can just for broken sleds. That is the most Colorado thing we saw today.
I don't know about you, but I think this might be the most Colorado thing I've seen all day. This is why we love to live here. A nice little break from the winter cold. 65 degrees this afternoon out at DIA. Typically, we should be watching temperatures in the lower 40s. More average for this time of the year. Things will start to change, so I hope you enjoyed the shorts and the t-shirts. Kind of weather this afternoon because a cold front moves in from the north. That's going to drop down our temperatures just a bit tomorrow. And look what's coming our direction, too. A storm system in California will be whipping up some moisture into the desert southwest and the San Juans for New Year's Eve. Tomorrow about 41, so about 20 degrees cooler than today. A few early morning clouds courtesy of that cold front, and then by the afternoon some sunshine will be out there, but definitely a chilly one compared to this afternoon. 30s and 40s pretty much across the entire state. Late tonight things fairly quiet, and early tomorrow morning much of the same. If you're hopping on I-70 heading up to the mountains, no issues. Weather-wise, a little snowfall just dotting the horizon toward the San Juans, the southern tier of Colorado through tomorrow afternoon and even evening, but nothing going on here in Denver as far as the wet weather goes. We're watching mostly clear skies for your New Year's Eve celebrations, and temperatures not too bad. We've seen worse. We have seen colder New Year's here in Denver. Temperatures are going to be warming up to the mid-40s on Sunday. Look at next week, though, Steve, as we are ushering in 2017. We're doing it with a bang. Single digits, teens, and a whole lot of snow.
Looks like a valley of winter there, Danielle.
It's coming.
Thanks. 3 years ago, the Denver Post realized a new industry was coming to Colorado, and they wanted to cover it. So they made news at the time by hiring the first mainstream journalist to cover pot in the country. Ricardo Baca has seen some stuff over his 3 years there. His last day was today, and his exit interview was right here. Joined now by Ricardo Baca, the editor of The Cannabist, who it is your last day today at The Cannabist.
Today is the last day.
You're moving on to different things. We'll talk about that in just a bit. You were the first mainstream journalist covering marijuana in the country. Take me through that experience. What's it like when you tell somebody what your job is?
You know, the early days, it went as you'd expect it to go. There were a lot of punchlines and jokes. People didn't understand it at first, I think because pot has been such a natural joke over the years.
What was the point where that shifted and became less of a joke and more of a serious topic?
I think about 6 months into 2014. You know, Colorado had at least those 6 months of sales to show and say, this is happening.
3 years on the beat. What was your favorite story you covered through the course of that time? It's a tough question for a journalist, I know.
Wow. You know, I think going back to 2014, I ended up writing a piece about the potency of edibles and how it wasn't representative in the product, what it said so on the package. And what I loved about that story is it really showed how if you take part in the beat that you cover. I consume cannabis, and I did then too, and I had bought a package of edibles. I had consumed my regular amount at that time, which was about 2.5 milligrams of activated THC, and it did nothing to me. And I had these edibles kind of in a drawer, and just I knew I would be writing about them someday, when a owner of a pot shop called and said she'd had 400 returns of the same product, and it turns out it was the same manufacturer that I had tried personally and knew that there was not the amount of potency in there that was supposed to be in there. I just knew that we were on to something.
What do you think the mainstream media does not do well when we cover marijuana?
Well, we could get back to the jokes. You know, the jokes that I started off with. The jokes are old. The puns are definitely old, especially to the discerning users of this substance, the people who prefer cannabis to alcohol or use both. But another thing that I think we could do is just really wipe the slate clean.
Want to give us a hint of what you're up to next?
You know, I can say that it's a technology startup. And we're operating in stealth mode right now, and I'm just thrilled at the opportunity to kind of develop other skills outside of journalism. You know, I turn 40 in about 2 months, and I think it's time for me to know how to do something other than journalism, especially given the difficult climate that a lot of us face with some of the corporate ownership going on.
Ricardo Baca, 3 years at The Cannabist, 15 years at the Post. Thank you so much for exploring uncharted territory for us. We
Thank
appreciate
you
it.
very much.
97% of those who are incarcerated in Colorado will eventually get out. They'll eventually return to their lives before they got in trouble, and they'll likely have to find a job. Most will want to succeed and have an opportunity to actually have a career. There's a new website that was launched in November. A woman in Colorado, her name is Carol Peoples, is a former private school English teacher whose path in life led her to teach in a prison. That experience changed her life, and now she wants to help those with a criminal past change their lives too. She launched Remerge.com to help those struggling to find housing, transportation, and jobs. It's a one-stop shop for helpful information.
Jobs. It's all about jobs. We put all that information out there. We have all the workforce centers, all the community agencies. Just sitting here this morning working up a list of temp agencies that are friendly to people with backgrounds.
Carol actually hired a convicted felon to help her build the site, Steve Mersuli. He owned restaurants and computer stores in his previous life. He was convicted of securities fraud. He's now on parole and believes in the website's mission to help others getting out of prison. If you have a business that could help people with criminal pasts, Carol would like to hear from you. There's information about how to contact her on 9news.com. As we look back on 2016, the year that Next launched, we are revisiting the stories that got people talking, the stories that people emailed us about, shared on Facebook, and tweeted about. The best of Next. We wanted to reintroduce you to one of our favorite characters we met this year on Next, Danny Timms Jr. He was homeless and had an opportunity to be part of a new program through the city of Denver. It is called Denver Day Works and is aimed at helping homeless men and women find work. We went to do a story on the pilot program, and that's when we came across Danny.
This is a beautiful park in a beautiful state. Pick up, clean up.
Civic Center Park is a work site.
That's sweat, boy. That's sweat. I'm working. My name is Danny Timms. I live here in the park.
My name is Scott Gilmore. I am the Deputy Executive Director of Parks and Planning. This is actually for homeless people that are in Denver that might be looking for opportunities to get connected with jobs or get connected with services.
This program that Scott's got is off the chain. It's beautiful.
We in Denver want to be as proactive as possible and really reach out to these individuals and give them the opportunity to be successful.
You know, give people a chance. I'm on the streets. I'm homeless. Let me prove that I'm not here mooching. I'm ready to work.
This is not volunteer work. They are being paid for their services.
I'm making $12.50 an hour, boy. That's super. That's good money. I'm cool with that.
And we can actually watch how they work and see if they really want a future position with Denver Parks and Recreation.
Job for the city? Okay. Okay, I'm cool with that.
I just want us to get off to a great start, making sure we're providing these individuals with great training opportunities and providing them with money that they need.
Take a homeless man, give him a shot at a job. Shut up. That's awesome. Dude, that's awesome. That is awesome.
And if you didn't see our follow-up story, Danny Timms did land a full-time job through the city. He'll be planting trees, cleaning up trash, and maintaining parks and playgrounds after he was hired. He told us he's excited to just go buy a soda or a cheeseburger. When we come back, the stacks of good news from 2016 that we are getting from you. We'll read it in just a bit. Feel a little plump after the holidays, kind of like me? Too many Christmas cookies, too much eggnog? We just wanted to show you you're not alone. Check out the salad section of this Trader Joe's. One lonely salad on the shelf. We are working to confirm what salad that was. If you see something funny when you're running an errand or errands, we want to see it. We like nerding out. Email us next@9news.com or use the hashtag HeyNext, which is what a lot of you are doing tonight. We got an email. Susan Wood, tell that young woman undergoing chemotherapy I am celebrating my 22nd year since diagnosis. In 2016, Susie tells us that she paid off half of her debt. Woohoo! 2016, I won $500 gift certificate for gardening stuff. That is from Jiffy Loop. And found and met my 65-year-old half-sister. Congratulations to Kathy. Well, it's been a great year. Thanks so much. I guess we'll see you next year.